Welcome into the Smog and Smog Fantasy Cast. And guys, championship week. And one of us has to be in it, right? One of us is in the is it? Oh,
no, that's wrong.
That is wrong. Phil, what happened?
Well, let me tell you what happened. I had the best year of my fantasy career. And then the first I was predicted to blow him out. I was projected like 140. He was at like 100. You know, Jonathan Taylor goes out. Jalen Hurts goes out. I was so confident. And then CeeDee Lamb went off. Purdy had a pretty decent game. Devontae Adams gets me 2 points. Everything went downhill. And I'm wearing this hat for shame. Tanner gave me this hat, and I'm wearing it just to shame myself. So pretty sad.
Yeah, it's a sad day. I've been there, buddy. I get it. You finish on top for the season and then you fall short. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry it happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
But just because you are not in the championship does not mean that we do not have a championship happening. And we do need to show a little grace and be grateful and happy for our fellow league mates who have made it. And that would be Tanner and Ben making it to the championship. And this is exciting. I think this is two people that both have not been in the championship before, right? So we're going to be coming out with a new champion this week. And potentially the trophy will be making its first journey out of Minnesota. We will be crossing state lines. I don't know if this is legal or not for it to be crossing state lines or not, but
who knows?
Either making the venture to South Dakota or New York, and we will see. We'll see how it plays out. I'm very excited for that one. But that is not the only matchup that matters this week. We also have one other matchup that matters. The rest of them, I mean, I shouldn't say that. Third place, you're competing for $100. So
that's right. My money back. I want my money back.
It matters.
I want my money back.
Yeah. I'm not here to shake my thing at $100. You know, I want it. You know.
That's right.
So you are going up against Michael Tweeton for that $100. Are you ready for some football? And so you guys will be facing off for that third place spot. And Cole, you are still got a little skin in the game. You, little rascal, are competing for that number 3 overall pick going up against Joe. And how are you feeling after last week? I mean, you came out with a W to get into this situation. And what are you feeling going into this week?
Thankful to be here. I would have, if I was in any sort of a matchup last week with the actual playoffs, I would have turned out decent. Would have beat Phil if I played Phil. Would have beat Michael Tweeton. Yeah, are you ready for football? Football. If I would have been playing, but to take a consolation win and now get a little bit better pick for next year. Yeah, it's not so bad, is it? It's kind of nice. And I don't know if I'm going to pull out a win this week, though. Joe's a pretty tough opponent.
And if Joe wins, that's okay. It's actually just the draft order as it is. Like, he's slotted into the number 3 spot, so if he wins it's just is what it is, right? So it's fine.
But it feels more deserved this way, right?
Stuff going on, guys. So I'm struggling through this right now.
That's all right.
So I'm gonna let you guys preview the matchups this week. Why don't you guys kick it off? Because that's what we got to jump into. We got the matchups. We talked about what they are. What are you guys projecting for them this week? And let's not start out with the title game. We gotta build up to that. Cole, let's talk about your matchup. You've probably been looking at it the most. why don't you talk about kind of what you're seeing and what's going on with it?
Sure. Or we could talk about the 7th place matchup. You want to talk about that one?
It's not important.
Okay. I'll skip over that one.
I'll quickly talk about that. Who cares?
That's right.
No,
Solid
a
point.
win's a win. I think, Nick, you got a good chance, and Rasky does too, and hopefully you guys both get a win, which is impossible. So good luck to both of you.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on. Cole.
Sure. The matchup between me and Joe is Joe's team, which has had a lackluster year, but a lot of players are healthy now. He's got quite a few good matchups for a lot of his players. Justin Fields playing Detroit. A.J. Brown is always just going to put up points. Dallas Goedert's back from injury. He could have a big game. So I see a lot of trouble on the other side of the ball. And on my side of the ball, I got some long shot plays. I threw in the third running back for Dallas tonight, Malik Davis, kind of hoping that Tony Pollard wasn't going to play, but it looks like they decided to play Tony Pollard, even though they ruled him out before the game. So, ooh,
Right,
fun,
I've never
fun,
seen
fun for me.
An O or an out tag next to somebody who has a carry.
Right.
That is wild.
Weird. It's
So,
wild.
and
I wonder
all
if
the reports were.
They actually
go
could
ahead.
get in trouble for that. Actually,
It's
I
probably
don't
on
kn-
Sleeper
yeah,
doing it by accident,
Officially
though.
inactive against Titans. Oh, yeah, maybe Malik Davis has this carry.
And it just got
And
screwed up
Sleeper
by Sleeper.
was just like, oops,
Who
I
do we
thought
go
it was
to?
Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be
We
fair.
obviously not watching it at the moment, so
we'll
could
find
be
out.
But yeah, I'm hoping for a W, but it's going to be a little bit of a hurdle. It's going to be about as tough as losing to Michael or Tanner in the warm-up game for last week. So it's
This guy
not
right
looking
over
great.
here.
Yeah.
This guy right over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, that man. Sorry, buddy.
How
And that's
hot-
my
Good.
that's
how
my
hot's that
matchup.
blanket right there? That was my Secret Santa gift
Ooh,
from his wife.
nice.
Beautiful.
It's lovely.
Yeah, it was tough, but I think you got a slight chance here, Cole. I
Yeah,
mean, it's tough.
I mean,
It's going to be tough.
yeah. The Malik Davis thing is not going to help you.
Yeah,
We don't know. It's early.
we don't know.
It is
It's
early.
It's early.
I really
I'm
thought the
weirdly now
script.
seeing
Go ahead.
Tony Pollard doesn't have a carry, so I think
Okay.
they don't know. They don't know what's happening.
I think
Okay.
Sleeper's just kind of
Confused.
doesn't know what's going on.
No, and I
Yeah.
thought the script. I thought the script of this game, and it's still early, so it could be the script of the game is going to be Dallas just rolling over Tennessee because they don't have to play. They're starting their backup quarterback because Tannehill's now on IR. Derrick Henry's out, so the strength of this team was kind of how their offense can just roll over you if Henry gets going, and you take away all that, and then you're just going to rely on a somewhat above-average defense to hold off Dallas's 36-point-a-game averaging offense. Yeah. So we'll see, but that was my thought.
Yeah.
What do we got in the next matchup?
Well, the next important matchup is me versus Tweetin for third place. And once again, I feel decently confident that I can pull it out.
Trouble.
But we all know Tweetin's team can pop off with Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, McCaffrey. His team can pop off in some big
Yeah.
ways. Jefferson with a projected 20 points is insane. Just crazy. 20.46 projected. Insane. Anyway, I still, it's anyone's game here. Like, I'm projected more, but some people, like Devontae Adams, who's throwing him the ball? It's not Derek Carr, right?
Jarrett Stidham.
I don't know if Jarrett can get the job done, you know? Maybe more than last week, but who knows? You know, I've shown that my team can produce very big points and also poop their pants. So it's going to be, I think it'll be a close one. I'll give myself the edge because I'm still confident, but there's, God, if I get fourth, I'll be such a sad boy.
It's funny because you were still an amazing team this year, but obviously you feel like you've been brought down to earth from last week because you had one bad performance from a few of your players. So it's not fair
Right.
to consider yourself an underdog at all. You're definitely on the you could crush him sort of the angle here.
Right. No, I think the four that made it into the playoffs are very competitive with each other. Any four of us can go off. So, I'll give I think I'm going to win, but who knows? But we'll see if his team goes off.
Yeah, I'll give you the edge because the Packers are going to shut down Jefferson, so it's going to be fine.
They have a pretty good defense, to be honest.
Yeah, the only problem was in the first game, they stuck to zone defense and didn't let Jair shadow Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
Frustrated the shit out of me. But we will see.
Yep.
I will give you the edge in this one.
Great. Thank you. That helps me out.
Both of us are edging Phil, so he must like that.
Ooh. Well, he thinks he can pull this one out. But we all know that pulling out does not always work. So,
yes, you would know. Yep.
It's very true.
No.
Well, no.
I don't know. That was out of bounds. Sorry.
Please stop talking.
Okay, and then guys, championship week, championship matchup. Here we go. Ben versus Tanner. We got Rando guy out east coming in 9-6 in the regular season. Ben, the fantasy football team, 9-6 in the regular season. And we have some early projections here. Both of them have one player going tonight. And current projections have Tanner 110, Ben 128. So a relatively heavy favorite for Ben. But we have seen that does not matter. All right.
We've definitely seen this.
And I mean, I look at his Tanner's players here, and the only ones that like concern me. I mean, a lot of them have some concerns. Like he's got to start DJ Moore. He's great or terrible. Chris Olave, how healthy is he? How many snaps is he getting? How many targets? Brian Robinson's a little touchdown dependent. So he's got a few of those guys that are very like, we've said these things throughout the season of like, if these things happen. And we've leaned away from the if side of things, but he pulled it out last week. We'll see if he can do it again this week. I just like Ben's team in this. He's actually got some really good matchups too. Like, we're all hoping the Joe Burrow Buffalo, like Cincy Buffalo game could be a shootout. He could have massive points there. So that capitalizes for him and Higgins. Nick Chubb against Washington. You like that. James Conner against Atlanta. Diggs, if that's a shootout in Cincy, just makes it even better. Yeah, he's got some good matchups. So I lean Ben in this. And I think the trophy is headed west. What do you guys think?
Yeah, Midwest.
Midwest. I agree with you. I think it's headed towards. You know what? I think it's going to New York. I was burned. I was confident last week, and he proved me wrong. I think it's going to Tanner. He's gonna do it again. He's gonna pull something out of his ass. And he's going to take the win.
I think Tanner's got it. Yeah. I think Tanner's got an uphill battle. Like Nick was kind of alluding to, a lot of his players have that boom bust potential. They're going to need a boom this week, unfortunately, I think. DJ Moore and like Fryermuth, the Muth, and it's just you're gonna have to get more than they're projected there. That 8 and 7 is just not gonna cut it this week. And the fun thing about this matchup I like is Ben has 3 players, Diggs, Burrow, and Higgins, and they're all going Monday night. So this is unless Tanner has a good lead, I mean, Monday night could be just an absolute 50 or 60 points from Ben's team. So be
Absolutely.
as comfortable as you can coming into Monday night. You're going to need a lot of points. So
Right. I think he'll definitely need at least a 60-point lead coming into Monday night. That Monday night game will be a lot of fun to watch. The game and this matchup as well. So
right, it has playoff implications in the NFL, so it's very important.
Yeah, big time. Because Cincy, if they win, they are in the running for the number 1 spot, right?
I believe that's correct.
I think so, right? So, yeah. Those are the matchups. It's going to be exciting to watch, as you guys said. And also, you guys know what's exciting to watch a little bit, just being on the outside of this all now, is football. Just football.
just football.
Just watching football and not caring
Isn't football
anymore.
fun, Nick? Football's great.
Yeah, just watching it. By the way, Go Gophs winning the Pinstripe Bowl today, taking down Syracuse. So there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Go Gophs. Just a little plug there. But hey, that's the matchups. That's what we're all excited about for this week. But let's look at what happened this week. There were a couple transactions, and we're coming to the end. As we know, we kind of run that mix of keeper dynasty. I like to think we're just a very, very large keeper league, where we keep everyone, and we shut it down for the most part. Free agency and all that stuff, we shut that down at the end of the year. Kick it back off after we do our rookie draft again, going into the fall. So, a little housekeeping with that. You have this week to make transactions. I will leave it open after this week for waivers and everything to run through the end of the regular season of the NFL.
Okay.
And then at the end of the regular season, so after next Monday, you guys know what I'm talking about. After that, we'll shut it down, right? And then trades are, of course, still open and available, or reopen. You can make trades and everything at that point again, but free agency pickups and everything like that is closed. So,
Perfect.
if there's anyone out there you're targeting or anything like that, you got your eye on for the future, now's the time to make some moves.
Stash away.
Moving forward. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of that, let's get into the transactions this week. Any that you guys that you guys made for the future? Cole, I saw you went and picked Irv up. Are you excited about his prospects for the future? Was that a future pick? What was the Irv move?
Yeah, I know he's been on IR for a while here, so my first thought actually was, let's get a boy I can stick on the IR just in case. I mean, he obviously has had kind of a non-year, but I think he's designated to return now for us. Obviously, with Hawkinson in the picture, I don't know how long I don't know what his contract is in Minnesota to fill. Do you know that at all?
It's got to be coming up soon.
Yeah, I would think he's coming to the end of it. So I was thinking maybe a good free agency. Maybe he gets plugged in a different offense. They utilize him. He has definitely talent to be a top 10 tight end, which, I mean, if you're not a top 3 tight end, it really doesn't matter much. You can pretty much get a top 10 tight end almost every year by just chance or luck. But so no, that's what I thought when I picked him up, and actually I dropped him today, picking up Malik Davis. So I shouldn't even really be excited about it because he's already out there for you guys. So somebody else go pick him up. So there's good behind him. He's a good tight end to have for dynasty if you don't really have a real clear cut tight end one on your team. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think there's still hope, but it seems
Oh,
like
don't
he's
get me wrong,
always
it's slim.
disappointing and hurt. He's either
He
disappointing
is.
or
Yeah,
he's hurt.
that's right. I will
But he
say he's an
flashes.
unrestricted free agent.
Okay,
So
so that might help him out.
new opportunities ahead of
The
him.
one I liked, Nick, was Isaiah Hodges. Or Hodgins.
This is another one
sorry.
I didn't
Hutchins.
think I would get. I thought other people would be bidding on him. So
I mean,
I
the
wanted
last
to actually
4 or
have
5
him
weeks,
last week.
Yeah,
I wanted to have him last week, but then I don't know. I wanted to stash a couple other guys, and I had looked at picking him up, and then he started going off against Minnesota, and I was like, "Oh shit! Now everyone's watching this game, so there's no way that he goes under the radar."
yeah. I
I
mean,
don't know. I like him for a chance in the future. I mean, you don't like receivers for the Giants, but who knows?
but there's not many of them. So, and they have to throw the ball at the NFL. So
Yeah.
he's been great. He's looked good. So I liked that one. Other than those two,
Well, there was the hot argument that we saw of Desmond Ritter or Mike White. Now, Phil, where do you land
yeah.
on this? Because Cole and Jordan were having a nice discussion about
I mean,
this.
for dynasty purposes, Desmond Ritter is the better one to have on your roster to see what he's doing. Obviously,
Right.
Mike White has been a backup for his career, which is what, 4 years, 5 years? I
Yeah,
don't know.
4 years.
4 years. So, I think he's a good backup. I don't think he's going to go anywhere and get a starting job. But Desmond Ritter has a starting job. They drafted him. They have to know what he's going to do, and in order to do that, they're going to play him. If he sucks, then drop him. If he doesn't, great, got somebody.
That's right. I agree with that. I actually agree with both of you. I actually think Mike White is better than Desmond Ritter. I haven't been high on Desmond Ritter, but the opportunity for Desmond Ritter is better than Mike White. So
Right. I'd absolutely rather play Mike White over Desmond Ritter when they're both starting for their teams. But
Right.
dynasty purposes, end of the season, pick up a rookie quarterback.
To reverse the narrative of what I said earlier in this discussion we had, I mean, who's got better potential? Yes, I think Desmond Ritter's quite obvious. And I think, to judge a rookie quarterback off of 1 or 2 games is not fair to say that's how good he's going to be for his career. There's quarterbacks that come in, in like 2 or 3 years down the road, they start putting up big numbers, So I definitely see it. I put him in the same tier, I'd say, for right now. Obviously, like, a third or fourth tier for quarterback. Nothing that's going to make a big splash. But if there's anybody that's going to make a big splash, it's probably Ritter has a better potential, although Mike White's had some better numbers with it. So either way, they're close enough where, like, I just like talking about it. Football's fun, so.
Yeah, absolutely. I think both of them aren't. We don't need to really talk about them because I don't think both of them will succeed in the NFL long term. But
Ooh.
That's why I
one
thought
of
it
them
was funny,
has
Phil.
of them has a better chance to, and that's it. So
That's why I thought it was funny. It was like I'm seeing this conversation taking place. I'm like, guys, both of you, if you had them, are dropping these guys after the rookie draft. They're not making it on your roster.
exactly.
So, but anyway.
But anyway, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's going to be the dynasty stuff moving forward. A little more housekeeping, as always. Like, after the season is over, send in any, like, potential rule changes you would like propose. Like, the off season is when we do that. Vote on rule changes, whether it's actual scoring differences or rules for things or roster sizes, whatever. So we'll look into that. Last place, we are doing the Wonderlick test for Tyler. So we're going to need Tyler to take the Wonderlick and let us know the score he posts on that bad boy. It's not terrible. I saw it's just like 50 questions, so you can rip through that. So let's go with that.
And you can do this for free online, right? You can just look up Wonderlick
free online.
test.
Just look up the
do
Wonderlick
it
test.
for free.
It's like a 50-question free thing. Yeah.
And then post your results in Sleeper.
I know. I kind of just want to take it. I just want to know what I'm going to get.
I probably will take it just for that.
I will take it, and if I don't post my results in Sleeper, you'll know why.
And to test our football knowledge, let's test it now. It
All
was a
right.
pizza party. Potentially
Pizza party.
the last pizza party of the regular season. I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about a Week 18 pizza party.
Yeah. I don't
I'm
know about
hungry.
it.
Yeah, we'll see. But this is the last one that we'll probably be talking about because I don't know if another fantasy cast comes out after the championship. I don't know what happens, guys. We're in uncharted territory at this point. But regarding pizza parties, Phil, you kind of just in general had a rough week last week. You are
All over.
buying pizza. You lost. Cole came out with the W in the pizza party and a W to go for that number 3 pick. So good week for Cole. Cole, why don't you kick us off since you are, on a streak, winning these pizzas right now? What is your brilliance tonight gonna be?
Well, just going to keep riding the luck. So let's start us off with quarterback. A guy that's paid off quite a bit and is still for reason cheap on DraftKings here, Jared Goff. Chicago, Detroit, playing at home. I love that. 5,600. Please, I'll take it every time.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
it. It's a good pick. I went on the other side of the field, paying up 7,900 on the other side of the field. I will take Justin Fields in that matchup.
I was
And
close
my
to that.
quarterback
That was
spot.
Yep, that was smart.
And I went with tonight's quarterback with Dak Prescott. Not doing so great right now. Only has 2.6. I paid 6,300 for him.
Okay. Yeah. Usually is always pretty solid though. So he's
Right.
got
Yeah,
plenty of time.
yeah, exactly.
9 for 10 on completions tonight though, so he's playing well. Now in the running back spot, I paid down a little bit because I paid up for Justin Fields. So I took Travis Etienne at 6,400, going up against Houston, the best running back matchup in the league. And despite what I have said multiple times, never Tyler Algier. Tyler Algier for
This week?
5,300.
You
Yay!
went Tyler, huh?
I went Tyler Algier.
Okay.
He's actually been getting a very solid amount of touches the last few weeks and has actually been putting up some decent points and has Arizona, which is a good matchup. So at 5,300, Tyler Algier. Cole, running backs, what did you do?
Yeah, I think Tyler Algier can't talk. Heard you when you started mocking him because now he's starting to do pretty good. I went as expensive as running backs go. 9,000. Christian McCaffrey. The Raiders are done. They've given up. They're pulling starters. They're just moving on to 2023. So I feel like any running back playing against them, any wide receiver, quarterback, there's no reason not to put him in. So 9,000 there. But then now I'm the opposite. My second running back, Khalil Herbert, 4,000.
Ooh.
Just came back from injury last week. Put up 1 or 2 points. So there's room to improve on that. We've seen him put up bigger games this year, though. So, Phil, what are you rocking running back?
Well, I heard Nick was very good at picking running backs, so I picked Tyler Algier as well at
Nice.
5,300. And then I also went with a guy who's up against the 30th ranked defense against running backs. He's going to get the carries. Now, what does he do with the carries? It's Brian Robinson Jr. So we'll see what he does with those carries, but he's got a good opportunity to do something. And then moving on to wide receiver, I went with the stack of Dak and CeeDee Lamb. Not great right now, but there's a whole lot of game left. Obviously, CeeDee Lamb burned me last week, so I need him to do the same thing for me this week. So I also went with Alan Lazard. He's up against the worst passing defense in the Vikings. And I think he's just going to get a touchdown at least. I think every receiver on that team will get at least one touchdown. So Alan Lazard, and he was pretty cheap at 5,400. And then I went with Jerry Jeudy against Kansas City. I know who cares who's throwing to him? He's been getting the targets. He's been doing really well. And it's Kansas City, terrible defense. They're going to need to put up points, so Jerry Jeudy there.
I like it. I'm pretty similar to you here. CeeDee Lamb also I took against that Tennessee pass defense. Seems like a good matchup. He's doing all right so far on the night, about 5.9 points so far. And then I stuck to that Chicago-Detroit matchup and took Amon-Ra St. Brown for 7,800. And then Romeo Doubs in the Green Bay, Minnesota matchup. He was a little cheaper than Lazard and Watson, and actually did get a decent amount of targets the last couple weeks. I think it was like 5 2 weeks ago and 7 last week. So at 4,700, I liked Dobbs. Cole,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Well, I spent down on a lot of other positions, so I could spend up here at wide receivers for some players I think are going to have great games. So T. Higgins, Buffalo, 7,300. Yeah, that's going to be what we all think is going to be a big point game this week. DK Metcalf. I don't know who DJ Metcalf is, but
No, it's his DJ name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
DJ.
It's not that
DJ
creative.
DK Metcalf.
Metcalf.
I'm totally suggesting that to Ben's team. Please name him DJ DK, and then we'll go with that. 6,900. That's an important game for the Jets. Nice. So I think that I think the Seattle also needs to win that game too. So, and then I got Mike Evans after that, 6,500. He's had a so-so year, wide receiver 2 kind of a year. Not got a lot of touchdowns. I'm hoping he's on the Footballers podcast. They think he gets one this week, or at least Mike does. So let's hope he does. Yeah, and then at tight end, flex, and defense, I went David Njoku playing the Commanders on the road. Super cheap at 4,100. He's averaged 10 points in games he's played this year. I think he can easily get that number. Flexing Malik Davis, the third running back for Dallas. My flex for 4,000, the minimum. Who's actually now, since we've been streaming, has 6 points for fantasy right now. So, and then the Patriots defense, 2,600. This is my last pick. They are playing Miami, who is starting our old friend Teddy, and he's done okay subbing in, but he's playing the Patriots on the road, so we've seen what that does to some offenses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I like it. I like your lineup. And the Malik Davis pick seems like it's paying off. Like, how much was he?
4,000, the minimum.
4,000. Yeah, so not bad to already be at 6 points with that. I went in the tight end spot, spent down here, and has changed from always target Arizona to always target Arizona or Seattle. And we got the return of Mike White, which means maybe we have the return of Tyler Conklin for 2,900. Okay, so Tyler Conklin. And then I flexed for a very nice and cheap 3,800, Mr. Russell Gage, who has been doing pretty well for Tampa Bay. In the last 2 weeks, he has had 6 targets and 12 targets,
Super
putting
productive.
up 12 points 1 week and actually 26 points a week before that. So, we'll see what happens with that. 3,800 is very cheap for receivers, so worth a shot. And then my defense, I ran the Ravens out against Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh is
Bad.
They're bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and then I went with a guy who's been really great the last 4 weeks, Evan Ingram at tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Going up against Houston for 4,400. I think he'll be a fine play. And then I flexed, which is scary to me, Cam Akers. We'll see what they do. I mean, he got 25 carries last week. We'll see what they do this week. It's probably all going to Henderson or whoever else, or Kyra. It doesn't matter what they do there. But I just threw him in because I get a good feeling about him. And then for defense 2,900, I went with the 49ers against Las Vegas. The Raiders seem like they're not starting Carr. They seem terrible. So seems pretty decent.
It seems solid, and I like it. And I'd like to say I know who's going to win, right? Like, because we make these lineups and I feel like they're good choices, and then they're not. So
Nope.
So we'll see what happens. We'll
see.
see who's buying pizza. It's going to be. I got to feel like Cole's buying pizza this week.
All right.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nick's hungry.
I'm real hungry for the pizza. You don't want to bring me the pizza?
Do you want pizza?
Oh. Okay.
This wasn't rehearsed.
All right.
But that's it. We already look forward. I'm dying, guys.
That's it. That's it for the Bog and Smog Fantasy Cast this week. We might bring another cast next week for the championship and see how that turns out. But other than that, I love you guys. See ya.
Look at that. God, that's nice. Oh. So good. Yeah.